Yeah, Rahul, can you share your screen?
Yes, sir.
Share your screen. Rahul, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yeah, it's loading now. Yeah, open your notepad. No need of Eclipse. Yeah, maximize that. Increase the font size. Keep it as 18.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Hi, Rahul. Good morning.
Very good morning, sir.
So today is your mock interview. Are you ready for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start. Can you introduce about yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Rahul. I have completed my master in computer applications, and I have 3-year experience in full stack Java developer. I have good skill set in core Java, good concept, Java 8 features. Also developed number of window application using AWT Swing integrated with MySQL database. Apart from that, also work with JSP server Hibernate framework, and also develop REST API using Spring Boot, using Spring Data JPA. Yes, sir, I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible now.
Okay. That's it.
Rahul, your voice is not clear, Rahul.
Yes, sir. Now it's better.
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, sir.
Can you introduce about yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Rahul. I have completed master in computer application. I have approximate 2 or 3-year experience as a Java full stack developer. So I have good skill set in core Java, Java 8 features, tools concept, also develop window application using AWT Swing integrated with the MySQL database. Apart from that, I have also worked with advanced Java technology like JSP, Servlet, Hibernate framework to develop web application. Nowadays, I'm working with Spring Boot framework to develop the REST API using Spring Data JPA using MySQL database, and also implement the unit testing with Mockito, and also handle the exception handling in my project. Apart from that, also good skill set in Angular framework as a front end, like how to complete the REST API in Angular.
Rahul, your voice is not clear, Rahul. I think there is some issue with your headset.
Okay, sir. So now it's better or not?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I also have good skill set in Angular framework. So the REST API which we develop in Spring Boot, we consume on Angular framework also. With the help of services, we can connect with backend project, which provide HTTP client module, which provide number of methods like get, post, delete. So we can give the request to the backend, which returns the response in the form of observable. So we implement the concept of asynchronous communication, and we display the data on Angular framework using components. Like number of concepts we need to implement in Angular, like one-way data binding, two-way data binding, how to create component, how to implement reactive forms, perform the validations, and perform the data operation, current operation especially.
Okay. Can you explain about your project architecture?
In web project architecture, basically, to make the application loosely coupled, we implement the concept in Spring Boot. We divide our project in different layers, like entity layer, controller layer, service implementation layer, repository layer. So we implement the concept of model view controller. So each layer is interacting with each other, but we are make it loosely coupled.
Explain about your project.
Yeah, in my project, basically, I'm working in health insurance system where we need to check the insurance of a citizen of USA state, USA country. There are a number of states. According to state, we need to check the insurance of citizens. They are eligible or not eligible. So there are a number of modules we need to work. Like one module is co-workers. The duty of co-work to identify and take the requirement of citizens. They are eligible or not. And similarly, there are a number of modules which interact with each other, and we need to pass the data from one module to another module.
Okay. What is the challenging thing that you faced in your project?
Like we are basically working in agile methodology and in microservices concepts also. When we need to start the project, we need to understand and analyze the problem. And then we need to decide how many relationship we need to make, like one-to-many relationship, and how many microservices we need to develop, how they communicate one microservices to another microservices, in which technology we need to implement, and which database we need to use. These things we need to decide, and a relationship, when we need to implement the relationship among multiple tables, that time we need to think deeply and face the challenges.
Yeah, fine. Currently, which version of Java you are using in your project?
Currently, I'm using Java 8 version.
Okay, so can you tell me the features that are available in the Java 8?
Yeah, so there are a number of features introduced, like a default and static method introduced in interface in Java 8. Functional interface, which contain exactly one abstract method. It also provides inbuilt functional interface like predicates, supplier, functional, consumer, lambda expression, which is nameless, and the lambda expression we can use with the functional interface because it has exactly one abstract method and any number of default and static method. Date and time API, optional class, stream API, terminal operation are introduced.
Okay, what is the difference between map and flat map methods in stream API?
Flat and flat map basically.
Map and flat map.
Yeah, basically both concept introduced in Java 8, and flat basically convert one stream into another stream. But in case of flat map, when one stream has multiple, or you can say whenever we need to implement one-to-many relationship or one-to-many streams, then we need to use flat map. There are a number of difference we need to discuss in case of a flat map. It is basically flattening the stream in case of a flat map. Flattening basically is the process of converting several lists and merging all the lists into single list.
Okay. Can you write the lambda expression example?
Yes, sir. For example, we have any interface engine. And we have one abstract method. So this is the abstract method. So lambda expression we can always use with the functional interface. If any interface contain exactly one method, then you can say it's a function interface. Or if we try to add multiple method, it violate the rule. To validation check, we can use one annotation, functional interface, functional annotation. So if I want to implement the lambda expression, for example, this is a method. So there is some rule that it does not contain access specifier, no return type, no name. So only this thing parameter is pending. So if there is no statement to implement the lambda expression, we need to use this symbol, and we can directly print anything. Means if I want to display only one statement, then no curly bracket is required. I can print directly in this way. And this method belongs to which interface? I need to assign left hand side. And I need to call in next line obj.speed. And suppose this method I want to implement multiple lines, then I need to put curly bracket. And in this curly bracket, I can put any number of lines. That's it.
Okay. Can you write the logic to find highest salaried employee by using stream API? You assume that you have list of employees. You need to write the logic to find out the employee who is having highest salary using stream API.
Okay. So I need to create object first of all.
You assume that you have the data. You no need to write the employee class and all that stuff. You just write the logic. You assume that EMP list is available.
Okay, sir.
Yes, meanwhile, remaining people can write and can send in the chat box. These questions are not only for Rahul. These questions are for everyone. The remaining people can write that and can send in the chat box.
So if we need to implement, basically we need to implement the concept of limit and skip. Suppose class name is employee, then method reference operator I need to use get salary. So I need to display third highest salary.
I asked highest salary, max salary. Yeah, that's fine. Leave it. Okay, Rahul, you can stop that.
Okay, sir.
So do you have any idea what is module system available in Java?
Module system, not exactly, sir, but as per my knowledge, I think module introduced in Java 9.
Correct. What is the purpose of that?
I have just basic knowledge like in Java 8, if we suppose we think public, we can access anywhere. But in module system, it is not like that. I have just basic idea, not exactly. If we are working in a module system, then we cannot say public access modifier, we can access any module for any package.
Okay. So do you have any idea about sealed classes in the Java?
Sealed classes, no, sir. Sorry.
Okay. How to make a Java class as immutable?
Immutable class.
How to make our Java class? Suppose let's take a class called employee. I want to
Okay.
make that class as immutable. How you will do that?
So first of all, we need to take constructor as a private. And the basic purpose is that it should return only one reference.
That is singleton, right?
Yes.
I'm asking how to make the class as immutable.
Yes, sir, I'm recalling, for example, I have one class employee. Then I need to make final. First of all, so that we cannot change it. Then whatever the property we need to take, we need to also make it private final.
Okay.
For example, if I'm taking name, employee ID means both instance variable I have taken private final. So we cannot change it.
Okay. What is singleton design pattern and how to make the class as a singleton? What is singleton design pattern? Why we need that? And how to make our class as a singleton?
So singleton class pattern basically returns the single instance throughout the application.
Okay.
So we cannot make multiple reference.
What is the benefit of making that class as singleton? Why we need to go for singleton?
So memory we can save also, and we can share the data among all the modules from same class. And early initialization we can done at load time.
Okay.
And object creation according to the requirement.
Can you write a class with a singleton? Write the logic to represent your class as a singleton. You can take any class name. Remaining people, meanwhile, you can write and send in the chat box.
If it is null, then we need to create object new instance. So in this way, sir, we can make it singleton because I'm making it static, and by default the reference is null. If when I will call this method, it returns the instance. If it is null, then it will create. Otherwise, it will return the same instance every time.
Okay. What is executor framework in the Java?
Sir, executor framework basically we use in multi-threading to implement the concept of synchronization.
Okay. What is a callable?
Callable basically interface similar to runnable interface, like it is available in.
Yeah. So runnable is also used to create the threads. Callable is also used to do that. What is the difference between runnable and a callable?
So runnable is a functional interface which contain exactly one abstract method, that is one method which we need to override it. But if I talk about callable, can only executed via executor service.
I did not get you.
Actually, runnable instance can run by thread class as well as executor service. But callable instance can only be executed via only executor.
Okay. Any other difference?
It exception wise, like callable interface throw a checked exception and return some result. This is the major difference between runnable interface where no value is being returned. That's it, sir, as per my knowledge.
Okay. What is the serialization?
Serialization basically a process to convert into stream. Like when we need to communicate in network, we need to serialize and deserialize. Like there is a one class in the IO package Java input of Java object stream is used to serialize and deserialize in Java.
I want to serialize one object, but I don't want to serialize all the fields. How can we do that?
Then we can make field transient.
Sorry?
If I don't want to make all the field serialized, suppose I want to particular field I don't want to make serialized, then I need to make that field as I need to use one keyword transient.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between linked list and array list?
So linked list and array list both implement list interface, which is available in java.util package. So both store data in the form of object and process it, but their data structure is different. Like to process the data in array list, it's basically used like simple array. It stores the data in contiguous operation, continuous sequence wise. But there is a problem when we need to delete and delete data, then all the element will be shifted one position upward, so complexity becomes hard. But in case of linked list, it internally use doubly linked list, where every node is connected to another node where reference is used. Suppose I want to delete any particular node, then all the node will be shifted up. It just change the reference of that particular node.
What is the internal data structure of the linked list?
Doubly linked list, sir.
Doubly linked list. What is the internal data structure for the array list?
Array list, I think it's simply use arrays in the form of arrays.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. It can be one dimension or two or multi.
So if I want to retrieve the element, which one will give the better performance? Array list or linked list?
So array list. Because with the help of get method, we directly access that particular element.
Okay.
In array list, insertion operation is slow, but in linked list, insertion operation is fast.
Cool. What is the difference between abstract classes and interfaces?
So interface is basically a user-defined data type, which contain abstract method and final static constant. Till JDK 1.7, it contains all the abstract method, means we cannot define the method inside the interface. But Java 8 onwards, it also contains default and static method, so we can define the body inside the interface to make a backward Java compatibility version. And if we achieve abstraction in interface, like but if I compare with abstract class achieve partially abstraction, and it contains both abstract as well as non-abstract method. It also contains similar with normal instance variable, but in interface we cannot. Interface contain exactly final static. In abstract class, we cannot instantiate directly. We need to inherit into child class to access its member functions. And it also contain constructor, and if it is required, we can define static also method.
What is the difference between throws and throw?
Sir, throw and throws, basically if I want to implement user defined exception, then I need to use throw keyword. With the help of throw keyword, we can throw the exception as per our requirement, and throw keyword we need to use inside the method. For that, we need to define one user defined class, and we need to extend exception or runtime exception class, and make one constructor using the super keyword. Through that constructor, I will take one string type parameter, and that parameter I will pass to parent class. So whenever I need to throw the exception, I will use throw keyword, then I will follow the instance of that particular class, new, then that user defined class name, and I can pass any customized method. So, but if I talk about throws we need to use outside the method. Means throws means to handle any particular exception, there is a possibility this type of exception may be occurred, not chance 100% sure. So we can declare multiple exception outside the method using throw keywords separated by comma. But with the throw, I can throw at a time only one exception, and I need to use inside the method.
Okay. How to create user-defined exceptions in the Java?
So first of all, I need to create any user-defined class, public class, and I need to extend with the exception or runtime exception class. Then I need to make one constructor with one parameter string type, and that parameter I will pass to parent class using super keyword inside it. So whenever I need to throw the exception, so I will use throw keyword, then I will pass the instance of that user defined class. And I can pass any customized message also, because I have taken in constructor string type parameter.
Okay. What is the difference between servlet config and servlet context?
So serverless context, basically we apply for entire application. Means if I define servlet context in a descriptor file, XML file, then that parameter I can access in any servlet. But servlet config, we need to define for any particular servlet. Suppose I have 5 servlets. So every servlet have different servlet config, or that servlet config parameter we can use for that particular servlet only, not others.
Okay. What is the difference between request dispatcher and send redirect methods in the servlet API?
So send redirect method, basically we can pass the request to one servlet to another servlet. But for example, servlet 1 to servlet 2, but servlet 2 to another servlet we cannot pass. Other servlet send request basically pass the initial request to all the servlet whenever or wherever we are passing. But request dispatch, what is the second one, sir? Request dispatcher.
Difference between request dispatcher and send redirect.
Yeah, request dispatcher basically contain the history of all the previous requests. Suppose I want to send the request from servlet 1 to servlet 3 via servlet 2. So when I'm using request dispatcher, when the request is coming from servlet 1 at servlet 2, and from servlet 2 I'm passing to servlet 3. At servlet 3 I will get the data of servlet 1 plus servlet 2 also.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is filter?
So filter basically we use in servlet. It is used for pre-processing and post-processing. Suppose when we send the request to any servlet, but before sending the request, I want to check that person is authenticated or not. So that part I will implement in filter, because filter will execute before sending the request to the servlet. And when servlet is processed, I want to perform something else in the end. Suppose I want to destroy or close the connection, then I can do it here.
So can you tell me where you have implemented filter in your project?
For the authentication purpose, I check the filter. I use the filter in servlet JRTP project.
Where you have implemented multi-threading in your project?
Multi-threaded, multi-threading I did not use, but I have an idea. So when multiple requests are coming, we need to use the same resource. So we need to use multi-threading to avoid any kind of concurrent problem. Yes, sir, I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
That's it, sir.
What is the difference between put and post methods in HTTP?
Both belongs to HTTP. With the help of post method, whenever we need to add new resource into the database, and its response code is 201. Like response entity, we need to check the response code also. And with the help of put method, whenever there is a requirement to update the resource, at that time we need to use put method.
Okay. What is patch method?
Patch is also similar to put method, but put means we are updating the entire object, but in patch we are updating any particular field. At that time we are using patch mapping.
Okay. So can you write the SQL query to find out the employee who is having second highest salary?
SQL query to find
the employee who is having second highest salary.
Okay, sir. Star from employee, then sir, in this way, maybe not sure. I'm audible, sir?
Yes, Rahul. Okay, fine. Good. Okay, Rahul, thanks for your time. With this, I'm stopping for now.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, guys, so how is the interview? All of you know the answers for all the questions. Rahul, good job.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Guys, tomorrow, who is going to give the interview? Yeah, tomorrow Saturday. So I will not have the much work. So tomorrow I will take for 2 people. Today I am done with 1 person. Yesterday I have done with 1 person. Yesterday completely I asked on Spring Boot microservice. Today I asked completely on the core Java. Tomorrow we'll do mix of both. Tomorrow we'll conduct for 2 people. Get ready. Please prepare the interview questions. Okay. Some people are saying that they are getting the interview calls. What are the questions they are asking? Please note down in the notepad and share that in the group. Fine, guys. Thank you. We'll meet in the tomorrow session.